dignitaries sitting on the dais, Mr. Satyajit Chauhan, Director Operation, Mr. Nimbalkar, Director Projects, Mr. Jodhikar, Mr. Pantoji, Mr. Aditya Das, and all the senior dignitaries coming from, I am told, 14 states all across India. I welcome you all. I am feeling very happy and privileged to be within you. Though I am not an engineer, I always enjoy being with engineers. Honestly, I do not understand much of the technicalities. All the brochures, all the reports, which I was just browsing through, I could simply see lots of charts, lots of alphas, beta, sigma, summations, and really I could not understand that. Though I am privileged to sit on the boards of Maharashtra state electricity companies, be it generation company, transmission company, distribution company, and also holding company. SLDC in Maharashtra comes under transmission company. And amongst all these four companies, I always found transmission company to be very challenging to really understand. And even this transmission business under which all dispatch centers comes is also equally challenging. In the morning, while I was taking breakfast, I was asking our fellow directors that when this load dispatch center concept came into, though I had read in 2003 Electricity Act that formal setup of a load dispatch center came into existence in 2003. However, I am told that it is in existence quite for a long time. As far as Maharashtra is concerned, today only I came to know there is Vidarbha, Marathwada and Konkan grid. Today also instead of SLDC, they call it as VKM grid and all that thing. So it's a very interesting evolution. And the way it is evolving and the way challenges are being faced by State Load Dispatch Center, it also struck to my mind the name, that is State Load Dispatch Center, does not depict what all you're doing. Today your activity is not limited to dispatch alone. You have to schedule the requirement of the power, you have to monitor it. Not only that, under the concept of MOD, which concept is now I think is again improvised, the best available cost-effective power has to be procured. Generation plants are to be told in advance when they have to back down, when they have to generate power. You have to also collect cess and duties on behalf of the consumption of electricity. You have to also maintain accounts and also accountability. So in today's scenario, especially when India has become so competitive globally that we have to be always ready in terms of providing reliable power. I will just compare last 10 years. In 2014, the requirement of power of India was 1.35 gigawatt, 135 gigawatt, which is now close to 227 gigawatt. I am giving you some examples which will really be keeping you prepared for the challenges coming forth. In 2014, our economy was on 11th rank worldwide. Today we are knocking the door of 3rd rank. Our GDP size was $2 trillion, which is now more than $4 trillion. Our budget, which is going to be announced after 2 days, it is likely to be around 55 lakhs crore, which was 16 lakhs crores in 2014. So all this development which is happening is only because the power sector, which is backbone for any development, is always acting proactively. I would especially make mention of Maharashtra, because Maharashtra, the way it is performing under the leadership of Honorable Chief Minister, who is also Energy Minister, Mr. Devendraji Fadnavis, that other states are also being told to follow this state. Now, what essentially Mr. Devendra Fadnavis is doing, in 2014 to 19, he was, when Chief Minister of Maharashtra, he has a dream of reducing the cost of the power. Now tell me, reducing in the cost of power, especially when inflation rate itself is growing year on year, how it is possible? Power without oil, power without coal, power without raw material, power without salary, power without salary hikes, how it is possible? Since 2014, I am accompanying him in this sector, so I was also very anxious to know that. But it is happening in Maharashtra. The MYT petition which was lodged to our regulatory commission, Mahadiscom has pleaded to allow them to reduce the cost of the power. Why it could be possible? Because Maharashtra is the state wherein 30% power is consumed by agriculture. And recovery of agriculture is a challenge all across India, you are all aware. So the cost of the power, which is costing around 8 rupees plus per unit, was given to the farmers at the rate less than 2 rupees, and recovery thereof was also in doldrum. So with this Mukhyamantri Saur Krishi Vahini Yojana, 16,000 megawatt distributed power generation scheme, which is the largest scheme in the world, you can say, and Mr. Satish Chavan has a very pivotal role in framing that scheme. When we will replace the 30% of the power consumption by 3 rupees per unit cost as against 8 rupees, our entire economics is going to be changed. And therefore, I am very hopeful Maharashtra is going to pave way for the India as well as we can say world. See, in geopolitical situation, lots of challenges are being posed. United States of America is taking their own stand. They are threatening us to impose tariff to the extent of 50%. But our leadership is so decisive, they're acting in such a settled manner, unperturbed manner. Yesterday only, we signed a 20 years pending bilateral trade agreement with European Association, European Union. What is this agreement? See, we have to trade bilaterally with each country separately. Here, 27 countries of the Europe is excluding UK, are now tying up with India through this bilateral trade agreement, meaning thereby a population of 200 crores, 140 crores of India and 60 crores of European Union, will be participating in this change. 1/4 of the global GDP is going to be impacted by this arrangement. And there will be lots of power, employment generation, and lots of development activities happen. Mr. Modi has envisaged that by 2047, India will be a developed country, and steps are being taken accordingly. Why I mentioned 2014 as a base? Because 2014 onwards, things are going in that direction, and I will not be surprised if we become a developed country even before 2047. By 2028, I am very sure our economy will be third largest economy next to US and China. Today, it is in excess of $4 trillion US. And in this economy, Maharashtra is the state which has already accepted the challenge to become first state to achieve 1 trillion economy. So why I am giving all those figures? Because your contribution, your support has been always very invaluable. And further, it will be more and more challenging, and I am very sure the kind of August gathering I can see, the kind of recognition and names I could see, I think people like you all came together I must thank to our CMD, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar, who has allowed this to happen so that 14 states representatives are going to have brainstorming session. And therefore, I also congratulate Mr. Jolikar, who is one of the finest officers in our transmission company, to have this conducted. Through his opening remark, he has given you lots of challenges before load dispatch centers. I would rather suggest this name is not depicting correctly. You should change that name. It can be something like state load monitoring and supply or dispatch, anything. In 2 days, you also come out with some other name, and I am very sure this government is welcoming to the newer names which are more appropriate, depicting the activities you're doing. I always give an example. Like, this traffic police, we call him as, in UK we call him as Dolly, or here we can call it as Hawaldar and all that thing. But do you know what kind of work he's doing? He's doing the work of regulator, he regulates the traffic. He's a decision maker. If requires, he can block the traffic. On one side, he can allow other traffic. He also handles VIP movement. He also act as a judge, make punishment, impose fines. He also condones fines. So lots of activities he's doing. Similarly, if I compare, and because I am privileged to work in aviation sector as well as in railway sector, in railway there is a controller kind of office mechanism which controls all movements of the trains and punctuality also. Similarly, ATC in aviation, they also do same kind of activities. But your activity is definitely more and more challengeable because what you are controlling is invisible. And nobody is there to appreciate whether you are working or not working. Transmission lines, whether current is flowing or no, we have no idea. Only test is that if there is a power cut, then there is a failure. Otherwise, we assume that you are working day and night. I wish you all the best. I am very sure this 2 days brainstorming out of this workshop will come out with very fantastic ideas in the interest of nation, in the interest of various states. And I would suggest to have this kind of conferences in all other states also, with this kind of gathering. And also on lighter note, 6 books have been released. I would suggest Mr. Jolikar to give 6 copies each to all our dignitaries and have a written examination next time, and whosoever gets first prize should be rewarded by Energy Minister. Thank you so much.